Well, that was interesting. A little bit of a sneak peek, maybe at a future Intel Creator Challenge, as we get ready to head into our second to last game of the day. We go into our first carousel. Players trying to weigh their options, and I want to remind you, this has been brought to you by the 12th generation Intel Core. You can play, chat, browse, stream, edit, and record. Do it all without skipping a beat. Now, without skipping a beat, the players jump right out of the carousel into round number one, and it is going to be, I think if you look at the top of that board, Robin, Prestivent, Souless, Kiyoon, these guys have to play very strategically because they're only separated by 2 points.
That's right. 24 for Robin and Prestivent, 22 for Souless and Kiyoon. Even though there is still quite a chance for Souless and Kiyoon to jump up, even Spencer and Soju, depending on how the rest of the lobby shakes out. I love this battle at the top with the tie between Robin and Prestivent, kind of an old guard, new guard type of feel. Robin known for his veterancy and consistency of play in every set, and Prestivent being one of the newer faces across the last couple sets, really making a name for himself as of late, and seeing if they can pull through in the next lobby. This is 5 of 6, only 2 more before one champion is crowned.
Prestivent grabbing that early rise, throw him onto the board. Wait, no, he sells the rise. How could you do this to me? Oh, I'm so upset.
I know you want to see that rise play, Kelly. I don't know how much we'll get to see today.
He's probably the worst unit in the game right now. So not the worst, but one of the worst. And so I understand. I get it. He's just one of my favorites.
Yeah, we all have our faves. We all have our faves. I mean, Nami will always be one of mine, despite her not being extremely viable right now. But I'll just keep playing her in solo queue and get my fill, even if I don't play her as much in TFT. I also, when looking at Prestivent's board, he's picked up a couple of these sets, even though set reroll still has a bit of that weakness later on. We have seen cases where enough to be able to carry through into that mid game, or even if you get the perfect scenario, or just transition into other parts of Dragonmancer, Raging, and beyond.
Like, low-key, it might be okay.
I would go for Three's Company here. Go for the early strat. Nope. Instead, going to be going for Thrill of the Hunt, grabbing that HP. Pretty much 700 HP at this point in the game is going to give you your units pretty much their full health back if they're able to grab it. But is he going to be going for level 4 or going for the Econ right now? We do have 2 Scale Corns on deck, but instead he's going to be trading out the Tom Kench.
I have a TG set.
Yeah, making the switches and like picking up Thrill of the Hunt right now early. Overall, pretty strong augments that most scenarios can make some kind of use of this, especially in the early game though, because you've got those flash stats that might fall off a little bit later on in the game when you're comparing that to other augments like Celestial if those are picked up. But right now should offer a way to kind of continue to push through against some of the other comps, and Prestivent facing off against Milk nice and early, who picked up the 2-star Ezreal to try and follow through. Ezreal having gotten touched a little bit in the recent patch, was buffed at all levels, but that's pretty much because he's been irrelevant for a long time. Still now just picked up if you get him early and you want that 2-star on the board.
Right. And keeping Aatrox on instead of throwing on the Kayn to get that Assassin's bonus. I understand why he's doing it. You want the tankiness, and Assassins are only going to do so much this early on in the game. But still, a lot of players going for the Econ route here, still in 3rd level. Full board here for Liquid Robin. Looks like he's going to be going potentially Mirage, having, 2 good items onto our warrior right there.
Nothing that he has to hard commit to right now with a decent transition ability. Yeah, maybe somebody will bring out some Mirage. We have been kind of sparse on the Mirage play as of the last couple of rounds, despite even with the changes to some units and synergies, bringing some power out of it coming into this patch. Still extremely popular and viable. Right now, though, Robin committing to the lose streak. That's the best case scenario. You're looking at it when there's only a single unit on the opposite side. So nice and comfy at 92 HP.
Got some Dragomancers now on deck with the Jade, actually. Wow, what a great transition from the start of the game to now just a 2-3 comp with that Jade and Dragonmancer.
We don't even have to.
Kind of a best case scenario.
A set works so nicely when you get this start with Karma and Ash both having that internal synergy of Jade and Dragonmancer. You only need to add one of each to make this a pretty well-rounded early composition and set with that early presence as well as a 2-star, looking to see if he wants to load on any more items and throwing on an IE just for some additional hitting, as he's probably going to move this onto AD heavy carry later on in the game.
Yeah, we do have the Lee Sin right now in the shop, but it looks like he's just still going to go sticking with Set right now at rank 2.
-2 HP.
Get a little bit more
because
out
I
of
didn't
him, but
Dragonmancer.
I honestly would pick up the Lee Sin, get the
Is that-
Tempest,
is that,
get the Dragonmancer. I think that would be a pretty good build, but instead he's just going to leave it.
Instead,
Oh,
because
there's
he
a
wasn't sure if he
spatula?
wanted to go that direction or not, said, I want to
apart
keep
from
all the
being,
units on my
vulgar
bench
again?
and I want to keep my 10 gold that I have right now for the interest. So especially something like that, if you can't quite 2-star him later. I do want to see somebody go for the Lee Sin play, though.
Yeah.
Technically got a buff, does a little more damage on the ultimate. You know, if you want to make him the target of your Dragonmancer, you can. People just like the other targets better. I get it.
Boo, I don't get it. I think he can build into some really good comps later on, especially with the Tempest. You get Tempest 4, oof, it's over.
Especially with how those Oceans have been putting in work across some of the earlier lines.
Yeah, did we have an Ocean in the last game?
I don't think we did actually, or they
think
got
we had
out
one.
really
Or they went out
early.
early. Yeah.
I remember a round where they bursted down. But when we go straight from lobby to lobby, they all mix in my head to some degree. So
It's
there
true.
were a few.
Well,
options.
it's also wild that we see a game with like
I
2
might as
super
well.
high-end Jades and then 2 or 3
Just
games
go
with
for it.
0.
I hold such cards as well.
Kind of all over the place. It's very interesting to watch. Now, check in with Soju, who is currently, as an update, in 6th place with 16 points. So he has to have a very big game on this one. And we're not talking, hopefully I get top 4. He needs to come in probably top 2, I think, to stay in the race feasibly.
It's true. And he's really close to Star 3 Leona already.
845.
Not something that you see every day. Leona often there just to keep some of the traits active. Early on, a 3-star Leona will be extremely impactful, as that front line will be much more impenetrable. And you're not spending that much, but by picking up those Leonas, he was sacrificing some of his econ. I think at this point, because it's been working well, he was able to turn the tide into a victory, hoping to streak in the opposite direction, and was more willing to part with some of his gold in the bank.
True. But with it, you know what, the extra 5 Leonas that he has, that's just 5 gold right there. So it's not too much of a hit to his economy. Obviously, interest does build up eventually, but I think having the 3-star Leona is way more viable than saving up that 5 gold.
See if he ends up finishing her off in the near future, waiting to see if he ends up having to sell a unit upon victory or death. Looks like he's going to get the win here against Souless. And going into Krugs, Milk, 60 HP, always at 60 HP.
Yeah, poor
Going into these phases, that's where he just loves it. He's like, this is what I like to do.
60 HP
Yeah,
player.
I bet he's sitting on a lot of gold to start making some moves with, which is a bit different than what you can say for some of the other players that did spend that 2 streak towards the top. Kiyoon still holding strong at 100 HP. And Frodan, a very different start than he's had before, streaking at 96.
Kiyoon, though, top player, top competitor, 100 HP streaking.
I wonder if he's... We'll see what he ends up playing. It's so funny watching his streams as of late, because Kiyoon, people weren't sure what to make of him for some time. He was very prominent in early competition and then kind of came in and out. Then after getting second at the Twitch Rivals event alongside Prestivent, people started thinking, okay, Kiyoon's back, seems to have a good grasp on this set. And then when you watch his stream, he's one of the TFT streamers that's joking about, I am a Valorant player now that plays some TFT, and saying, don't watch me to learn, just watch me for the fun. And, you know, whenever streamers joke about that, you think, well, I'm still going to learn. You're still one of the best players there. But I wonder how much of that has an influence around the way that he plays, because we've seen him in multiple cases either going the Dragonmancer or the Jade direction. And if that's something because that's just what he's playing in the limited number of games he's playing compared to some of the others in this lobby, or if he decided long ago that that's what he likes to do and he's just sticking with it.
And going a bit of a hybrid build here with Whispers and Jade, and putting the Edge of Night onto Siphon right there. Going to be able to give you just a little bit of protection once you do get a little bit lower, like we're seeing him do right now. But that is just not enough against the tankiness from Soju's team.
I lost this.
Breaking its way through, that's for sure. A lonely
Bro.
Siphon
Why is this guy
eventually
level 6?
falls.
Whoa,
Kiyoon
whoa,
taking
he's
his
not even on
first
win
hit,
streak.
because I mean, you get that
Oh,
early
how
dragon
fucking
and it's been
slow
able
though.
to carry through to a degree, but finally
This guy's not
punished
on a win
slightly.
streak. Why did they fucking send it to 0?
I have a win streak, please. Why'd you break it? Why you gotta do me dirty like that?
He's got that 2 Mirage. Mirage is Executioner's Edge for anyone who's curious. That's a guaranteed crit on low HP. So, honestly, one of my favorites, a Mirage Heart. So it looks like we're going to commit to that Mirage. And honestly, I think with Executioner's Edge, it can be pretty strong.
And the trade sector as well, giving you just more opportunities for the units that you want.
Yeah, picked up that trade sector, so that's how he's able to find a lot of these Leonas and the like. You find a lot more things that you can buy and you can spend your money on if you choose to do so. Just want to make sure they're high value enough options that you can bring into power on the board, so it's not just sitting on your bench.
I like the Nunu pickup here. Going to be getting rid of his Jade comp in lieu of the Cavalier.
Plops him down into back.
Ooh, is that a Dragonmancer Siphon? My goodness.
Right on the opposite side here. So this is what Milk is working into through that Dragonmancer. Made sure to add the buff onto the Siphon here as well. Continuing to charge through after the casts, and Tarek's in the back line, but he's just a little tanky boy, so he's not going to be able to hold them back for long. He does keep them away from everybody else, though, to buy time for this Karma to blast on through. Static Shiv damage coming out nice and early here as well on 3-2.
Come on. You're so close to getting your Leona 3.
Oh my god.
It's just not there, especially the more and more that he levels up. Already level 6 now. You only have a 25% chance to get those 1-cost units.
Yep, still holding on to it in case, because now at 7 Mirage, really indexing into it with that Mirage augment that we had previously discussed. He sees, hey, there's a chance I get that last Leona at some point, and I think I may want to go for this chase trait, so why not? Keep her around, keeping an eye on that economy, and with still other units that he can sell to keep this at 20 for his 2 interest. A 4-game win streak, or 4-round win streak rather, for himself as well. Frodan is also on a streak though, so one of them is going to be very disappointed at the end of this round.
And we do know that Deja can make some big plays right there, but the positioning just wasn't good enough. Deja does a little bit of damage, but unfortunately Aatrox is going to be able to take them down.
Frodan at the number 1 spot going into this carousel, I think is the highest position he's been on at the end of stage 3. Much more of a buffer and higher resources for him to work with going on through. Still 30 gold in the bank. Feeling pretty comfy.
Pretty good. All right, let's see what we got here on our carol. Oh, there's a Leona! Get it! Grab it! Don't care. Don't care about anything. Just grab the Leona.
Forget the items. Forget the rod.
Who needs a spatula? I already got some spatulas in my kitchen.
Yeah, beefy shield on the Leona in the front line. Give me the AP.
Did he do it? Was it Souless that had the potential 3 tier? I don't.
Well, yeah, I couldn't tell we ran into it. I'm imagining that didn't. We'll have to see who picked up the rod. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll sell the Leona and that'll, give them an opportunity in the shop.
Yeah, want that really amp up that damage barrier from the solar barrier for Leona. All jokes aside, though, there was one game in Jade Cup where Tom Kench had Thieves' Gloves and then ended up with a Rabadon's Death Cap.
Oh.
And then so the Tom Kench was quite unkillable with the size of the shield that he was able to get off of that Rabadon. So hey, sometimes it works out really well in the AP injection for your survivability. As far as here,
I'm high rolling.
pretty hard.
Still continuation of domination
Nah,
from
like,
Frodan.
this game
I'll
is,
definitely
like,
throw some
making
AP
up for
items
all the
onto
other games where
Silas
I
to get
held
some
infinite
extra,
pairs and
you
didn't
know,
hit for the
shielding.
longest time. I'm just like
Yeah.
high rolling.
Silas being made really beneficial from that as well.
Oh man, Aoshin is one thing, but when you only have one opposing unit, he's just destroying, absolutely decimating that poor guy. Can grab a Nard too here, but it looks like they're going to be holding out on it.
Kiyoon
Oh.
just a little AFK right now. Ran away. Has 8 seconds to come through.
Kiyoon, please, you're Nard too.
R2D.
No.
wants to.
Quickly. Oh, got it just in the nick of time. All right.
Kiyoon made it. Got that Nar online. Let's
Also,
go.
fuck, what's Kiana in here?
Really just
Resil.
like adding suspense to the production.
Right?
You know, MVP.
Oh man, this Morello, Edge of Night, Gwynsu onto
It's almost 750
Aoshin.
gold?
Gee.
I mean, obviously you want survivability, so maybe trading out Edge Knight wouldn't be that great, but if you could get, I don't know, like a Spear of Shojin or something on him with the Gwynsus to be able to just pump out. Whoa, what? Anivia
How was my
able
unit
to
at zero?
survive
so
that
close.
attack.
Ooh. Manages to live on through it. I mean, there were a lot of
chance
good things for
I
Kiyoon
might
in that
second
moment.
for,
You're looking at the
Dragon
Morello
Lance
Nomicon and thinking, okay, you're going against a Jade comp, maybe cut through some of that healing, use the
Maybe the
utility
one,
of the
Dragon Lance
application
with
of
3,
his
4,
ability.
probably.
But in the end, a narrow loss here for Kiyoon. Still sitting at 40
Remember
in
Fire
econ
Siphon?
here at Wolves, though, and 78 HP here towards the top of the lobby. All the while, Frodan's been relying upon those warriors. A strong early comp that's brought him all the way through stage 3. And
BT. Do I want to play BT?
I think that when you compare that to where he's been in the past, he's feeling pretty good about it. You can look at some of the units that he has with Mirage. He's got Deja coming in through. He's got Yone in the front. Maybe if he manages to continue to stabilize to later on get into Yasuo territory, then you're at that point of having multiple threats here for Mirage, because it looks like Mirage
I don't have anything to
is
hit except the units.
Executioner's edge. So that means you're always critically striking those targets that are below a certain health. When it comes to using your basic attacks and abilities, you get that bonus crit strike damage. So some of those other rounds where Mirage was not nearly as present was for a good reason. It was the less popular of the Mirage versions. This time around, though, is one that many would favor.
Especially with that Nikos.
Yeah, Pirates
I'm
is just-
sorry. I keep talking over you.
No, I occasionally I like Mirage. I'm just like that. Seeing so many pirates was absolutely
Yeah,
horrific,
feeling, yay, pirate.
but watching Deja Yoni with Executioner's Edge is just too much fun.
Yeah. It's a
He actually has an almost
good
all
time for Yone and Yasuo, the
R2,
brothers
R2,
of
Yep.
Runeterra.
Do I want any of these units?
Well, it's because if Deja gets an ulti, I mean, and those two idiots are in the middle of the back line, it's an insta one shot for everyone.
Especially when you have the Nikos, the champ duplicator there, and if you
Yep.
do get like 2 of either of them, that's going to be a very early 2-star. So I do like going for the higher cost champs at this point in the game. What are you going to be going? Ancients, Axiom? Yeah, neither of those sound good. Refresh. We got Gadget, Static Shiv might be okay. Extra healing will be all right. He could. I don't think Jade Heart's not going to be that viable right now. You already got the Jades that you want with the legendaries.
He keeps flashing. I close my eyes. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's
Especially if he gets like Soraka on deck, then you would want the extra healing.
difficult to commit to. I think that's what he's trying to figure out,
Oh.
but ends up going for Gadget Expert on this one. So it's definitely really good when you can build items that can, kind of deal that direct damage
Problem this game.
and
Especially
increase the
damage.
overall output.
Yeah. All right. Is it enough though? Deja now going to be doing his special attack with the jeweled gauntlet. Let's see how much damage it does. Oh, so close. Just a second later, that might have actually been a successful elimination for Soju, but unfortunately going to be taking a little bit of damage, but still 81 HP at the 4-2 stage is a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, and meanwhile, for Milk streaking here at 46. and can continue to be pushing that up. Prestivent, though, after coming out so strong recently, tied in points at the top with Robin with 24 points, now sitting at 34 at the bottom of this lobby prior to Carousel. It's not like he's the only one, though. Spencer also middling at 35. And right now, continuing to work into this Jade comp, though. You've got the Assassin spat onto Kiyoon to jump into the back line.
And I like it with the Talon. You know, you get that bonus as well as the guild bonus. So it's a pretty good comp right here. Kiyoon going to be just cleaning out this board right now. I don't care how tanky your legends are. Kiyoon, there we go. Just one clean hit right there. And he still has some decent units in the back right there. Lulu grabbing a great conversion there. But honestly, I'm surprised the Anivia holding out strong.
Look at the static shiv damage all the way across from Volibear, just slowly breaking in two. And yet the Dragonmancer Anivia enough to be stronger, to be more durable, to continue surviving here. So Prestivent knocked down to 25 HP prior to this carousel. Couldn't outlive the competition.
Man, so many spatulas on this carousel right now. And of course, going to be going for that Yasuo. I'm sure someone's going to be picking up the Zoe as well. And Ornn also has the spatula on deck. And there's still one spatula on the board. Usually at this point of the game, I would imagine people would be picking up a lot of spatulas, especially with the Dragon's chest still looming nearby. And there you have it. 3 spatulas picked up.
And for the lobby right now, Milk's still the only one streaking. Soju's still in that #1 spot. That commitment to Mirage isn't going to be wavering anywhere at this point. And you have a lot of those Cavaliers as well. So finally did eventually hit that 3-star Leona. He knew it was going to come through. Got the 8 Mirage now. So completely vertical on this one.
Whew! That is going to be so strong. And now he's got, actually decides to sell the Lee Sin instead of going for the 2. And I completely understand once you have the 8 Mirage, there's not much that you can change up with your board if you do want that synergy still on deck.
And
that attack speed on the back left is insane.
Feeling good about the attack level right now. And the Mirage on the Braum means that the Guardian bonus is nice and active. So that's the thing with indexing into this Leona, saying, hey, I spent some to make sure that I have this fairly cheap still. She's still a 1-cost 3-star, but somebody that can survive that much longer. And now in the end, you take out your damage, though. So Braum can't output enough on his own to offset this A-spat Olaf right now that Souless has brought through.
Let's go, Olaf! I love it.
Good for him.
Look at the scale corn we already have. Is that 4 scale corn or just the, 4 scale corn? It's going to be so good, especially going up against a lot of the dragons that we're seeing from the Shioyus and the Dejas. And then you get the tanky Braum, you get the tanky Shin. This is going to be rough, actually. I don't know what they're going to be able to do against this.
The Assassin comp of last game ended up faring very well, getting into that back line, and this is still a while off from the 3-star Olaf, but still on level 7 with 50 gold. So an opportunity to kind of slow roll right now, skim that off of the top above 50 for Souless to build into that Olaf 3. Had that Diana early as well. So right now, feeling pretty good, and the additional bonuses from that scale scorn so they can work against the dragons on the other sides.
And they're going to be getting just a little bit of HP each round because of their augment, and their units are going to be able to lifesteal on kills, which obviously with the assassins, you're going to be doing pretty well. Going to be looking for that final item for the Olaf there. I'm guessing he's going to be going for a fist. I doubt he's going to be going for the rod there.
I mean, in the end, still a few options for him to be able to finish off with this itemization. And
I misspoke. Looks like he's actually going to be going for the cloak into that.
You can put the rage blade on Olaf with that.
I don't know. Is he going to be going rage blade Olaf?
See what direction, he ends up wanting to go. Rage blade's definitely one that you can throw on just for that ramping up of the attack speed, and still other decisions to be made on the Treasure Dragon. Milk making his selection here. Most of them want to ensure that they get at least one full item when they're rolling down for it. Double war mods.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's just going to be so much HP coming out of Nico, and especially with the Dragon Mancer and Nivea and taking those stats, she's going to be so strong. You can see it, the Soraka is already on deck right now, but instead going to be putting the Shin on there for that Bruiser synergy, leaving Soraka off the board, maybe waiting for Soraka to get to 2-star before putting her on.
Yeah, throwing his Shen towards where he wants to be the most protected in terms of surrounding units that have been extremely targeted. And right now, because he is facing against these assassins, it's Ashe that will be the first to fall.
And Nivea has so much HP. I can't even see where the bars are. Oh my gosh. But will it be enough, actually? The tankiness coming out, and it looks like he is going to be going for Fist there on Olaf.
Yeah.
But Nivea is just too much. Oh no.
Both the survivability and the strength of that output, that burst jeweled gauntlet, and it's not just Dragonmancer, the Bloodthirster here too, and that's why you see Nivea here in the front line, smashing away, feeling all good. We might be getting eliminations soon, my friend. Prestivent here at 3 HP at the bottom of the lobby does have Jade 6 in. Does have some work going for him. The Xiaoyu here at 2-star as well.
Oh man,
gonna be enough.
Poor Prestivent has so many close star 1s that they need to turn into star 2 if they want to survive. And instead, it looks like they're going to have to leave Nar and Nico at that 1-star and going to be going for the Pike play instead to just get a little bit more assassins on deck. But again, will it be enough?
Talon.
Yeah.
He couldn't even finish off the Lulu, wanted to find the Corki, but the Corki is just too strong, free firing from the back, and the assassins cannot get the job done. A kill onto Prestivent and an 8th place exit from one of the players we have tied at the top. That's actually going to be almost another. Okay, 3 HP for Frodan as well, so close to being knocked out.
Come on, Frodan, you can do it.
Such a big
Look at your beautiful Deja. And especially with the double Zeeks on Lulu, you got the Yasuo, but it's only tier 1.
I can beat Kiyoon, I can beat Spencer.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be going. It's going to be enough.
Please don't give me Soju. Then I rotate into matchups where I'm losing.
Trying to scout out at this point because some of the spread that can kind of affect where you're wanting the Stasia to be able to hit most of the team. And that was, I know there's another assassin composition still around this lobby as well. So something that when they do jump to the back, kind of they can be awkwardly positioned as well, where you don't get as much of the value off your AoE. But this is a good positioning matchup for him. A lot of firing off the side.
I was going to judge the Nico ZZ portal, but actually went down a little early. I thought that she was going to be lasting a lot longer there, but does become a bit useful. Kiyoon now down to 4 HP, and Frodan staying to live another day.
Oh, 3 different players at single-digit HP here at Carousel. So many of them looking to potentially make an exit in the next round unless they can start chunking off of some of the top 4 in this lobby. But Milk has been streaking for a very long time at this point, and Soju with some comfort of 63 HP under him.
Man, very comfortable right now. Looks like Frozen Heart is going to be picked up, but a lot of emblems on the carousel right here, which is not necessarily what I want to see. Obviously, it can make or break a lot of these comps right now, but I just get a little annoyed when that's what I see here. Shimmer Scale, not going to be enough for a full synergy. They do only have 1 out of 3, but maybe if they grab an Itis or something, that'll be a different situation for them.
Let's see what adjustments end up being made. Yeah, there were a few, as you said, different emblems. I saw a Bruiser emblem that was picked up. I believe a Guardian as well. So some more of the front line.
Frodan holding on to this champion duplicator in the hopes of grabbing, I'm guessing it's Yasuo too that he's hoping for. Dude, I appreciate the patience.
Higher cost, higher value for the champion duplicator if he can manage to get it. And right now doesn't even need it just yet. Still sticking through and gets a hit onto Soju, marking him from 65 to 48.
Wow.
Oh man.
That was a big win. Remember, coming into this game, if you were looking at the scores, Soju needed to win first or second in this one to stay in the hunt. He's currently in 6th, so he was off to a really good run. That loss is going to hurt.
And the run can continue, though. Spencer getting knocked out. Kiyoon. So we have Prestivent in 8th, Kiyoon in 7th, and Spencer here in 6th. Frodan continuing to live on.
Oh my gosh, this Anivia is just insane. I don't know if I've ever seen anything as strong as this. Especially taking the siphon off of Nico. My goodness. If they get
Definitely making an impact.
yeah, if they get a 3-star Nivea, it's over.
See if they end up picking up enough on some slow rolling on level 8s. And right now facing off against Soju, who just started having his hand dished out to him. And feeling the pressure of Milk right now.
Okay.
That was close.
We can top 4. We can top 4.
Frodan, let's go!
I can't beat
Another
Souless. That's the really frustrating part about it.
game
His
one
he's
for
actually
him right
designed to
there.
kill
Staying at
constantly.
3 HP for so
Banshees.
long. A pretty okay item right here. Gonna grab the claw, getting you some shielding, some protection.
Get some of that on down. And RFC for 1 as well. Starting to look at some of these items here. So Milk has been streaking for quite a long time at this point. He's been stuck at 46 HP. And yeah, you're looking at somebody to try to be able to break through this, because it's the Dragon Mancer Legend comp. Just get them nice and big.
It's the Gwen Suze. And Mystic Emblem as well. I'm going to be throwing that onto anyone, whoever. Doesn't matter.
As a reminder, we made a joke about Milk being a 60 HP player back in round 2. So his streak has been absolutely incredible and still going. Unfortunately, I don't think Milk makes TwitchCon, no matter what.
No, I don't think so either. But Nico too, on that Anivia, and moving over our cape right there, our Shroud of Stillness, to get the most out of it. A great positioning right there. Obviously, you're going to want to put it onto the Deja.
Oh my. So Milk continuing to show that strength. I mean, look at this. Just absolutely shredding. I mean, the units are so sticky on this board. Just so freaking sticky. And especially in Nivea, even when you're able to get that damage output. Ugh.
All right. Liquid, Robin, this is it. This is your last chance.
Oh, it's top 4. Nice.
Will you be able to hold out strong? And yes, you are. That Shioyu keeping you in the competition. But you're... oh, they got some good items on their Nico, though. That's got to be so annoying. Not just having the Frozen Heart, but also having that extra slowing item that will freeze the opponents attacking her.
Mm-hmm. Much durability for the frontliner. I mean, Nico, that's the thing. Not only is she that frontline, that tankiness for you, but also having that CC and has that eternal winter on that came from the forge. So yeah, slowing that attack speed 20% for 2 seconds. And you end up freezing them eventually over time, the more stacks of that you get. So it can be very punishing and very collaborative with the rest of her kit that she has with those pop blossoms. But right now, just getting popped on down. Deja's wind from the back is hitting a little too strong at the moment.
And I thought that Robin had a lucky Zephyr there, actually pulling the Deja up, but it's just not enough once Deja does get dropped down onto the lobby. And Anivia looks like actually for the first time ever having a bit of a struggle there, but is still able to get down. I'm sure that's due to the scale corn. But not enough right there. Oh, we got the Yasuo. But they already have tier 2 Yasuo, so never mind.
Just lots of Yasuos. Everybody loves a little Yasuo play. And for Robin, even though Robin exits at 4th place, that's still pretty good for him, because Robin and Prestivent were the 2 that were tied at 24, and Prestivent had fallen all the way in 8th. So 28 points for Robin after this one, as opposed to what Prestivent is going to be walking away with, which is just a total of 25. Still only 3 difference, but starting to put some of that distance.
I think if Soju makes top 2, he may actually tie Robin at the top of the boards after this one. So Soju in a bit of a hunt. My math, again, I'm not allowed to do math, but that's
How dare you.
a rough guess.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
Oh, we love Sin.
there's just so much damage coming out right now for Souless, especially with that 3-tier Olaf with the assassin. Yeah, there's nothing you can do against that.
Finally was eventually able to hit that 3-tier, and a lot of times when that assassin spat comes on, then you figure you're going the Olaf direction. We haven't seen a lot of lobbies where it's contested either. I think this is one of the only ones where we had multiple that were running assassin. One of them had gotten eliminated a bit ago, which is probably why he was able to hit that now. So riding that on to try and get some of the backline units. But one of the things that we were talking about when you're looking at Milk, who did finally get his streak popped, now down to 30 HP off of being 46 for so long. But a lot of those units that your assassins are looking to go and burst down to create the numbers advantage at the top, when you're going against a comp like what Milk has, they're just so much harder to shred through. And the targets that you should be going for are actually elsewhere. So we'll see how they end up faring when they eventually face one another.
All right, Soju.
Reminder, chat's asking Executioner's Edge is the Mirage bonus, just for everyone who's asking. Right now. Go ahead.
Yes.
Looks like they're going to be opting out for Anivia. Unless they win this round, they're going to be going for the tier 2 Anivia right there. And with Deja on deck with the Shiv, the Jeweled Gauntlet, and the Titans, yeah, this is going to be a rough one to win against. But when you have Volley Bear with the double Shiv, and of course that Anivia, that is going to be it. It now looks like it's going to be Milk versus...
This guy
Oh,
lost.
I spoke a little too soon. Is Souless just going to be down out here?
Legendary?
No, actually. It looks like he's going to be able to survive this. Oh, is it going to be close?
3v2 units make that 3v1,
Oh,
so it is
man.
enough for the showdown.
Milk!
So Soju gets second because of that. He only lost by 1. He lost by 4. That was crazy.